My name is Bobby. I'm from Trustpilot, and I assume everyone can hear and see me right now, so it's great. I can see there's a couple of people more joining in, but if there's any way to let me know if the sound goes off or anything, we're online, it's digital, of course, let me know in some way. But other than that, I will talk a little bit about Trustpilot and a little bit about how to optimize your customer journey by leveraging your customer's voice. So this is my presentation. It's around 20 minutes. That's the time I've been giving. And then there's time afterwards for a bit of Q&A. So again, I'm Bobby. I work at Trustpilot as a sales manager. I've been in Trustpilot for almost 7 years. And we work with reviews, and we work with a platform that allows everyone to speak their voice after they've had any type of experience with a company. And I have been helping Trustpilot and helping consumers and helping companies, actually, everyone, I think, for a lot of years, how to get the most and best out of reviews. I've worked on different markets in different countries, and I've really seen how reviews in general are not just the future, but it's right now. It's happening right now, and it's an important tool. So the actual beginning of Trustpilot this is Peter, the founder and CEO. He started Trustpilot to give all consumers a voice and to give all companies a way to listen and respond and continue to actually improve what they do. And he did this because trust really, it builds trust, and it happens with a transparent environment. And that meaning that all platforms that are open online are the platforms that people use. Doesn't matter which platform you think of. If you think of YouTube or Facebook or Wikipedia, whichever open platform you have for people, that's the one people use. Closed platforms where we limit people, that's the platforms people don't use. And at the end of the day, that's the platforms when people don't use them, no one really uses them. Companies don't use them and so on. So we're an open platform, and we're proud of that. And we really give a voice to people that they didn't have before Trustpilot, I believe. And basically, it's gone very well. We have over 130 reviews right now on the platform. So if anyone at any point asks, hey, Trustpilot, is anyone really using it? Hey, 130 million reviews have been written by people all over the world. And of course, it's still continuously growing. We're very proud of that, very happy of that, but it's not really about us. It really isn't. It's all about people wanting to write reviews. No one's forcing anyone, but they actually want to be heard. And 130 million reviews really is the testament of that. And it's all about the dialogue. It really is. I mean, the first step of any company using Trustpilot, it's about inviting your customers to leave a review. If you invite your customers per email to leave a review, this is what happens. Consumers, they share their experience, and companies, they know how to improve so they can create better experiences. And that combination, that dialogue, that conversation is truly unique, because in the good old days, a lot of times when people went into a store and they bought something or did not buy something, they left the store, there was no feedback afterwards. There was no post-dialogue. They just left the store, closed the door, and companies didn't really know what they thought about the experience, right? So right now, it's a unique opportunity for people to actually write reviews and companies to improve in this dialogue. And that's what it's all about. The agenda for this is pretty short and to the point, I think. 5 topics. What is social proof? The benefit of online reviews, how to optimize your customer journey with social proof, and then in the end, some key takeaways and some Q&A. So what is social proof? I mean, I think everyone knows about social proof and what it is, but if I just can give a little bit insight into what we think it is, in business, we do actually say trust is everything. Like trust is everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a media or social media. It's all about who can I trust? Who do I dare buy from? Because we're not walking into the store like the good old days and seeing the person selling. We're online. we're on a web shop, we're somewhere. And trust is everything in that perspective, because if you don't have that, if you don't trust who you're buying from, you're not going to buy. Doesn't matter what it costs. You're not going to buy if you don't trust the person or the company selling. And social proof is truly something that's directly linked to having an online presence. It has an extremely powerful psychological effect. It's been proven over and over again that third-party validation is perceived more authentic than any types of traditional advertising. And think about it. Every single advertising, every single TV commercial you see or everything is just people praising themselves. Companies always say they're the best at everything, right? We have the best product out there. You get the best bargain at us. I mean, I can't count how many pizzerias I've seen saying they had the best pizza in town. But what do the customers actually say, right? I mean, instead of the company saying we're awesome all the time, what do the people who've actually spent time on the service actually think? That's social proof. That's third-party validation, much more believable than what you see in an advertisement. So take a look at these two pictures for a second. Just glance on them for a second. The top one and the low one, the bottom one. If you were to go to a restaurant right now and book a table for tomorrow, which one would you choose? Yeah, if you're in a hurry right now, this instant, maybe the top one. But if you want to book a table with your friends and have some good food, which one would you probably choose? On a psychology level, you would choose the bottom one, because that's a third-party validation. You're seeing people enjoying themselves, eating food, it's packed, it must be good. You don't even need to ask them, right? So this is social proof, and it has a psychological effect. It really does. Actually, studies show that 66% of customers say the presence, just the presence of social proof increases their likelihood to purchase a product. Now, it doesn't have to be 5 stars or 4 or 3 stars. The actual presence of a company owning up to what they do, letting their customers be heard, that increases the likelihood of a purchase of a product. 93% of consumers in a study say that online reviews impact their purchasing decisions. Now, they don't say it's everything. Online reviews is not a standalone type of thing where that's the only factor that matters. But it does impact. They do think about it more when reading online reviews. And this one I think is really interesting. A big study in the UK showed that 80% of millennials, that's people between 20 and around 37, 35, 80% never buy anything without reading a review first. So think of that, because I hear a lot of companies all the time wanting to get young people to buy their products. How do I reach out to the young? How do I get new customers? Where are these young people? And so on. They're online. They're reading reviews. This is facts. This is a study with over 2,000 young millennials answering questions. They never buy anything online without reading a review. The benefits, there's loads of benefits. I mean, 21% say that actually they don't trust brands as much as before. 21% people say today they don't trust brands as much as they did previously. So of course, reviews can help that trust be built. It's all about the trust. 79% of consumers say that online reviews has as much impact as recommendation from friends and family. Now, I can relate to that. I very rarely ask anyone in my family when I'm about to make a purchase. I don't ask them about an insurance company or where to buy my shoes or where to get the next bicycle. I go online. I search. So the good old word of mouth is now online. Trustpilot is basically just word of mouth online. And 98% find confidence in the voice of their peers. They check reviews before making purchases. So all these different studies that have been made from back in 2015 until now, they all point in the same direction. They're all studies pointing in the same direction. Reviews matter and they count. And if you're not on that train, you probably should get on it right away. If not even with Trustpilot, then with someone else, because it's important. The benefits are pretty straightforward. You can increase your online visibility. You can increase your conversion rates. You can build a trusted brand, and you can align the expectations with your customer's point of view. So all these things come into play because you get the data, you get the info, you get the feedback, and you can actually use it. You can showcase it. So if you think about this for a minute here, Trustpilot has different types of reviews. We have service reviews. That's what can be used by lawyers and carpenters and real estate and every single web shop out there. We have product reviews where you can actually rate products and give reviews on that, and location reviews. So you can actually rate locations as well. So it doesn't matter how your company is set up, you can use Trustpilot in this way to improve. You can get feedback on every area. Now, optimizing the journey is important because every single person ever buying something has a little customer journey. Now, this is the journey. It's too complex and too vast for me to actually explain here, but you go through so many stages from considering to buying something to the actual purpose. These are some numbers on the average time spent for research before making a purchase. There's practically nothing you buy within an instant. You think about every purchase and you search competitors and you search for price and comparisons before you actually make the decision. This is why reviews are important, because while people are browsing and considering, they will stumble into reviews. Now, how can you actually use it? For instance, if you have Trustpilot, you get reviews, you have a profile, you can integrate it on Facebook. This is an example here. So the two platforms speak together, Facebook and Trustpilot. You take those reviews and automatically integrate it with Facebook. You can do the same with Instagram. You can use Trustpilot on Instagram and use your ambassadors, which these reviews are, to attract even more. Every single study we have basically shows that it helps your conversion. So this is an example that shows these Trustpilot stars here, they help the conversion of this advert. This is a company that tested 3 different companies. So it's a partner agency that tested 3 different companies. We didn't do it in Trustpilot. They did it. They tested the adverts on Facebook with and without Trustpilot. So here's one without, here's another one, and a third one. And they tested it with the Trustpilot integration reviews, with the stars, just the stars and the logo. In every single case, the adverts on Facebook performed better with the Trustpilot stars. In all these 3 cases they had. So this partner agency knows the value of it, and so do the customers that they have. And you can, of course, display it all over. So when you have a profile, you have great reviews, be creative. This is a video where they integrated Trustpilot on the YouTube video. Very clever way of integrating it in a very small video. This is the subway, basically. This is why you ride a train and you see all these adverts. Yeah, they're all saying that they're the best at something, and they have these Trustpilot stars integrated. And of course, the searches are important as well. So anyone spending time on Google, spending money on Google, any company knows that this here is an advert. So these Google ads, they can come without Trustpilot stars as here, or with Trustpilot stars. So if you invite customers through our system, you get reviews, you can get an extra line here with these stars in your Google ads. That's verification right there. And again, we have different case studies, and they basically all show that these AdWords work. They give simply a higher conversion. You get more out of these AdWords. You also do it in Google Shopping, where you can also integrate it, the stars. So when you go into Google Shopping, search for a dishwasher, you can see the product reviews right here. People have bought these products before and are leaving reviews. And you can even do it on the organic searches. So these here, if you go to Google and you're actually looking for a dishwasher or something else, you can see the stars from the product reviews right here in the organic search. And of course, on site. So a lot of companies know that they have a lot of traffic, but a lot of people are also abandoning the carts. These here are some of the reasons behind abandoning carts, abandoning checkouts. Most of them rely on trust. It's simply just a trust factor that they are leaving the cart and not buying anything. So when you put in the Trustpilot stars there, again, it gives validation. We're actually running a bit out of time, I can see, so won't be able to show many more examples, but I can just run through them here. Here's a company having Trustpilot in the header. Here's one in the footer. Here you have product reviews. So if you're trying to buy something as a gift or anything else, you can see what other people think of the actual product on site. It gives great conversion rates. These are split tests done by the company themselves. That's why they keep using Trustpilot, because they know it gives a good result. And especially now where you can have these reviews and you can have photos, you can have text, you can have stars, you can have whatever people's looking for, really. And here's an example where we're on the checkout page. It works. And just to wrap it up, some key takeaways again here. Think of social proof. Think of your trustworthiness in general. And think of the fact that you need to showcase your customer's voice. It's super, super important. They're your ambassadors. And whatever they have to say probably matters. We have maybe a few minutes for questions, I think. Yes, we do. Does anyone have any questions?
So, Bobby, firstly, thank you so much for the presentation so far. Bobby Mazloumi, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for missing the introduction there. Country manager at Nordics with Trustpilot. Of course, if you do have questions, do put them into the Q&A box. A question from me, Bobby, actually, is we're starting to run out of time, so we'll try and get through as many as we can. When we talk about reviews, obviously we're building that trust. I mean, it's in the name, Trustpilot. But what about those reviews that aren't necessarily organic? And let's say, I don't want to say fake reviews, but maybe companies have left reviews for themselves.
Okay, so good question. I could talk about this for hours, but let me try to make it as short as possible. One of the most core things we have in Trustpilot is having the most authentic site out there. Now, it's practically impossible to make sure every review is genuine, but we do a lot of things. So when a customer writes a review, right away, it's up there, but actually right after the review, it goes through a filter. So we have a software system built to actually prevent fraud. This software system is built on loads of factors, such as IP addresses, such as devices, such as country codes, and so on and so on. So if a company is writing 10 reviews from the same iPhone, we would know it, we would flag it, and we would suspend it. We also do checkups where we all the time go and ask the actual person who left the review, is this your review? Can you give some documentation about it, and so on? And we also have whistleblowers. So we have a lot of people actually in companies who don't like it. If someone in their management says, go and write some fake reviews, we get a lot of whistleblowers internally from companies. Nothing's perfect. It's still, I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. But I will say in the last 10 years, in the last few years I've worked at Trustpilot, we've done so many things to have as many authentic reviews as possible, that we're really, really getting to it. And especially the ones where companies are trying to write their own reviews. I mean, not always, but almost always we kind of figure it out at some point in some way. we do have a lot of techniques put in play.
That's really nice that you kind of take that social responsibility by doing that. We are out of time, but one really quick question for you from Christoph. How about social proof in context of B2B businesses? Do you have any insights on that you can quickly share with us?
Oh, we do actually. I mean, we do more and more and more. In the beginning, when I was in Trustpilot, it was all about e-commerce. But in the last 5 years, we've seen so many B2B companies reach out and simply telling us that they have had experiences where a company they're working with that is about to buy from them, that is about to choose them, search for their reviews on Trustpilot. So head of purchase in different companies use Trustpilot as a validation, which means, of course, in the end, that companies have to work about that. So we have numerous companies on board that only work B2B.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, Bobby, thank you so much for your time today, ladies and gents. Bobby Mazloumi, Country Manager at Nordics with Trustpilot. And we'll be back with our next keynote speaker in just a couple of moments' time. Thank you very much, Bobby.
Sure thing. Bye. Have a good day.